We're starting on the prep scene. The high school football playoffs in North and South Dakota are looming. Players are stepping it up for their squads, and Jody and Jandy are here to reward those efforts with the weekly MidcoSN Game Ball. So let's start in South Dakota, and for that, here's Jason, William, and Dara.
Well, thank you, Kelly Elizabeth. My goodness, the list of outstanding players is getting too big. We need to buy that next size up. So many great performances. Let's dive into this list with the top performers from last week's game by checking out Brandon Valley's star receiver, Carter Olthoff. Mr. Olthoff took the top off the Arrows defense last week, especially in the second half. He ended up with 6 receptions, 163 yards, and 3 touchdowns, all while dodging raindrops and Watertown defenders. Carter was bothered by an injury just a couple weeks ago, but he's only gotten better ever since. Let's check in on some of the others on this list. Brady Hawkins of Bridgewater Emery-Ethan had a hand in 5 different touchdowns. Stanley Haskins Jr. ran wild in a 48-0 shutout over Waverly South Shore. He piled up another 200-plus yard rushing day. I think we're seeing the real Karst Hunter, folks. The big game hunter found his prey against Parkston this week. He ran for 275 yards and threw for another 154 and was part of 7 TDs on the day. Miller Highmore Herald, by the way, has won 4 in a row. They're playing much better with the help of Karst. Cade Koletsky ran for over 200 yards and also caught a couple of touchdowns in Yankton's biggest offensive day in school history. They put up 77 points. Noah Krull was ridiculous as well. He threw for 2 touchdowns and then scored another 6 on his own. Great job for Hill City. And if you haven't noticed, Aberdeen's Jackson Rolfe is having a monster year at wide receiver. This week, caught 12 passes against Washington and found the end zone twice. How about Lincoln Star sophomore quarterback Tommy Thompson? He had a great day against Stevens. And Nick Whitler of Sully Buttes, he's become a fixture on this list. He had a hand in 5 touchdowns, and guess what? He only played a quarter of the game against Langford. Then there was Lyndon Williams. He did his best impression of a Swiss Army knife against Gregory. The multi-tool scored a pick 6, a couple of receiving touchdowns, a rushing touchdowns. He got 8 tackles, and then he threw in a blocked punt just for good measure. One of the best overall performances of the year. Normally, that would take the game ball, but no, that does not take the game ball this week. Head coach Chris Torgerson gave the MidcoSN Game Ball to Trey King before practice yesterday. King had a pretty impressive week, and he always does. Almost every single week he's been on this list, but he outdid himself this week. The Eagles beat Marion 64-22. King ran for 232 yards and 3 touchdowns, but get this, he also passed 19 of 24 for 382 yards through the air and tossed 6 touchdowns. Congrats, Trey. You've inspired us all by your electric skills on the football field. Much deserved award for you.